And we are live here on Fatboy FadeAway Sports, episode 174. Tyler McGurk joins me again. I'm Darren Breyer. Tyler, how are we doing here Sunday morning? Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo to all our Hispanic friends and listeners. Happy birthday to your wife. Or not happy birthday, happy Cinco de Mayo, excuse me. I'm doing well. I had a late night of Little League, couple White Claws after, and here we are. How you doing?
That's good. Yeah, but Han always jokes about Cinco de Mayo, obviously, with that one as well. So, yeah, no, I'm doing good, man. We had a good week this week. We're down to 5 weeks, I think, of school left here. Down to the final push, making it through that Memorial Day weekend seems bigger and bigger, more important than we need it. So get to that little break there with it. So yeah, doing that. My parents are off to Ireland for 2 weeks. They made the trip out there, so we'll see how that goes for out there. They left on what was that Friday, 10 hour flight to Ireland there. So my parents are over there with it. You had the little league game at 7:30. What's the time limit on those things if it starts that late?
The last inning could start at 9:15.
9:15.
So,
So you just
it
go pretty
ended up
late.
it ended up finishing up around 9:30. We only went 5. It was kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. Dumps wouldn't get these guys moving.
Did you watch any of the Denver Minnesota game last night?
Yeah,
Or the replay, probably?
I watched the whole first half.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see Anthony Edwards start going off. I missed that. I saw the highlights.
Joker, he was still really good. Yeah, I thought you would have found this funny this week at school when I shot one time the kid like in first grade. I shot it, and he's like he's a first grader, so he doesn't really know that about it. He's like, you shoot like Joker. He's like, you shoot like.
Such good comp. That is a good comp.
I did take that.
Larry Bird and the Joker. You get good comps.
I thought that was hilarious when he said that. He's like, hey, you shoot like Joker. Like that's I was
Good
like,
knowledge, kid.
compliment or not? So yeah, so we had that I had that come up this week. Did you watch any of my A's get 20 runs yesterday?
I watched
guys from the other sports show. Was over there at the game yesterday, so he got to check that one out. The A's now to 500. It's kind of funny because everybody's bringing up this major league thing, like in the comp with that and stuff. How do you feel about that? I remember my joke I always said this about like 5 years ago about the A's, about the idea that they like kind of resemble this movie as like it's coming to a point. I think I wrote an article with a kind of a paragraph on that too. It's like this team. That's why I thought 2019 that team could have saved them from all this if they could have won it or something like that. But they obviously they couldn't. They sold off everybody at that point. But it's kind of funny that I always thought about John Fisher's head on that little thing. Unfortunately, we don't want to see unfortunately everything. You get my point. That scene always sticks in my head because of the idea of the team hating the owner so much because they're moving. So it is kind of funny how if they could make a run, I'm curious to see what the fan base would do. Let's just say if they were in a while, let's say they're 2 games out in July 5th or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, do we start to get to 12,000 a game, or is it just like it never gets there? Or something? Be curious.
No, I think it would get going pretty good if you guys started competing and making a run at the playoffs. I mean, you'd have to be like right there. It's not like 5 games out. I don't think you're going to be drawing, but if you're like in the playoff hunt in September, I think you'll get good crowds in Oakland. They're going to want to. It's the last time they're going to be able to see them in that stadium, and they're going to want to watch good baseball. So, like, as much as they resent John Fisher, I just don't see why they wouldn't show up to watch their Oakland A's one last time. At least compete for something that matters.
You'd probably start to get the fans that because I think there's Oakland, like really hardcore Oakland fans that like just don't want to go because of the whole they're more invested in that. But there is like fans kind of like, I guess you would say I'm still a hardcore fan, but I'm not Oakland to that point. So I would probably want to go at that point if they were in it. But it is interesting because they're starting to play better. I was like, they won 6 in a row. I'm like, all right, they beat the Pirates, and now they beat the Marlins to get there with it. So but the thing that's kind of fun about this team and is the bullpen. It's like when you actually have 2 guys at the end of the bullpen that are electric, it does kind of change your view on your ball club a little bit. Like you've had a few in your lifetime, like when you had Rob Nen or something like that. Like the end of the game is actually kind of fun to watch. Or you have Duvall now; he's good too. So but they have this other guy, Urkreg, that's pretty good as well. So we'll see. I just think that part kind of makes their team like real. I know you probably don't watch them a ton, but man, I don't know, they're electric. When you're throwing 102 with that kind of curveball, that part makes them really fun.
I've watched probably 3 outs of Oakland baseball this whole season, but I could speak on the fact about having two
Have you seen the
electric arms at
highlights of
the
it?
end. Yeah, I've seen the pit closer who just the Yankee game, I especially. But when you have two guys where you can like be like, all right, they're not going to score on the 8th and the 9th if we can get ahead, it makes the game managing so much easier. Like with your starters and your bullpen guy, obviously you still need to hit and get runs, which they'll struggle at times this year just based on the amount of talent they have.
Yeah.
But just having like a Felix Rodriguez, or not Felix Rodriguez, Francisco Rodriguez, Troy Percival, like that combination of just electricity makes the game a little bit easier, and it makes it. Then you see it in the record this year.
It's a huge difference actually. I think
Huge.
it's huge. Like I wrote down, it's a big one. With like when you have that, your team gains confidence too. That's why I think when the A's beat the Yankees and Orioles, and their bullpen was able to like finish off both games after their offense was able to make to win 3-2, 2-1. Those little games build even more confidence in the offense and vice versa and stuff like that. The A's defense does worry me a little bit when I have watched. I'm like, oh my gosh, how many balls can you throw in the dirt? But there is like a certain point of that. But so that part's been fun to see. Hey, I have a question though. You've now, as a Giants fan, you've seen Philly and LA. Is one stick out more? Like, are they both even, or do you think one's better than the other when you've seen the Phillies and the Dodgers, like both teams play? Your Giants are not good.
The Giants are pathetic. They're different. I think the Dodgers are a better team, but Philly in the playoffs is just
Even with Zach attack,
more dangerous. Zach Wheeler is ridiculous for sure, but Glasnow is as well. That Japanese pitcher is getting going a little bit. He still has the innings but he's pitching much better than that first couple innings in Japan or Korea, wherever that was.
Okay, so you would say,
but the Dodgers, I still think, with Mookie Betts, Shohei, Freddie Freeman, that trio is just a murderer's row at this point. And I think the Phillies have a great lineup. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't have that here we go this inning.
Well, I just think also like to put a little bow on the A's here with it is, the biggest thought for me is will the fan base grow if they actually stay in it? I will be be curious how that responds with it. All right, now to your Giants with it. The hitting.
We kind of touched on. Would you bring Derek and Savi and Grayson Hanna to more games if they in say September? There's tickets available.
I would probably want to go at least once. I wouldn't go more than that. I just wouldn't be able to do it. But I'd probably try to make my way out there one time and probably do a playoff game if they could do that for sure. That would definitely be something I'd try to do. What do you think of the Giants now? They're 15-19. You've said they sucked all year. You get the Soler. He's not done anything for you guys. He's been striking out of 10. We're waiting for him to get hot though. And then you got Chapman, who is doing Chapman things, and then you have your guy Brett Butler not doing anything. Not doing anything for you anymore. No, he's still a good hitter, but he's not. He's not building. He's not building up the steam you probably thought after that first week. But he is still a good hitter, you can tell. But anyways, your Giants continue to struggle. I just think it's funny that you look at an A's, they have like 60 million payroll. The Giants have this, and they just can't put it together right now. Farhan, is this his last dance? I don't know. It might be.
I mean, you see local media ripping on Farhan more and more, even on KNBR, who loves to do a little slurping of the San Francisco Giants and aren't really harsh on him. So I think there is something in the air where Farhan, if they don't turn this around, he's gone. I mean, he's had one good year in 5 years. That's not good in any profession. You don't keep your job if you have one good year. If you're a salesperson and you have one good sales year and then 5 years of just average to trash, you're gone.
I mean, you watch the game. Is it just the pitching sucks again, or everything?
It's the hitting.
He gave up 14 runs.
Well, the pitching that wasn't good. That was one game now. You can't if you look at it as a whole.
I know you guys don't hit in the clutch. Is that what it comes down to? Runner on second, 2 outs, you don't get the hit.
It's been like this for years, and I don't know why people are surprised by it. You bring in Soler, who I brought up in the beginning of the year. He's not a great hitter. He can hit bombs, but most of the time he strikes out. It's just who he is. And Matt Chapman hasn't hit well since he left Oakland. He's been a 220 hitter, great defender, but we're bringing in these high-priced guys who are just as good at hitting as the guys they replaced. They're better baseball players, but the hitting isn't going to improve.
And then
And it's just frustrating.
your other high price guy goes down. Snell, he's out with the injury. So
and another
and
freaking guy stealing a paycheck.
And that's what it comes down to, I think, a little bit. So is this team even fun for you to watch right now?
No, not the last week.
Only
they were fun.
Only when Webb and Wynn are pitching.
Yeah, Wynn's been except for last night. Wynn was terrible, but Webb's been good. Hicks.
That's what I'm saying. So if Webb and Hicks are pitching, you're like, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still watch if it's on. I love baseball and I love the Giants. They're my favorite team, like I said. But
you don't love baseball. The A's are playing good baseball, and you only watch 3 outs of this to get your head in the game. No, just kidding.
I'm boycotting.
You're forever Giants. We know forever Giants.
I'm a Giants fan. It's baseball's regional. Let's be real.
Tyler, forever Giants. I like Tyler. No, so the hitting, the pitching. I get you on that. I mean, what you guys go to Fenway, you get the whole Yaz thing again over there. 3-8 now. You guys are there in Boston now. So I guess now it's every other year they're going to be playing over there. So we get a lot more at bats over
at. Yaz can play 3 games a year then, and I'll be happy because he seems to hit a home run every series in Boston.
Get the his
but outside of that, he's a garbage player. Their offense is just atrocious. It's bad.
Minus 35 right now. You guys sit over. Hey, just pick a year real quick in Major League Baseball, and I just want to see like I'm gonna bring up random like who are the stats of the stats we were. Just pick a random year real quick.
1998.
1998. It's funny. I had that year initially thought out of my head too. So that's going to be obviously the Sosa McGuire year. So they'll probably lead every category. So 70 home runs for McGuire, but Sammy Sosa had 158 RBIs.
It's unbelievable.
And Ricky Henderson still led the league in stolen bases, though.
Who did?
Ricky Henderson, 1998.
45?
66.
My God, I didn't even know he was playing that much in 1998.
540.
I thought he was like a platoon player at that
Played for the A's still. Left fielder. He's back with the A's. Him and Jason McDonald playing that. That's it. Yeah, big Jason out there. And Ernie Young, I believe. Maybe it was Ernie might have been out there as well. They saw
Mr. Hennerator.
No, you got that. Not Hennerator. Number 2 on that stolen base list. Just give you a couple names. Tony Waback, Pirates.
Where was Eric Young? He's got to be up there.
Eric Young was number 8. He was playing for the Dodgers. I do remember a guy named Brian L. Hunter. I did not remember a Brian L. Hunter. He had 42 that year for the Tigers. A Brian L. Hunter. I do not remember that one. So that's funny looking at it. I was looking at like that. I was going through other ones. Like, man, what would be the pitching of that year? Just to give you an idea how many innings were pitched to that, or not that year, but in 1991. If I can,
I'm guessing the league leader at what year?
1998
was 230.
268 shillings. So he still is up there. So you had like a few over there, Maddox and Brown. Scott Erickson, that's a name I haven't heard of. So I had that one there. Did you see any of these? Did you see any highlights of the Mets Cubs series at all this week where there was that weird play at home plate?
I saw the brawl.
But did you see that play at home plate where Pete Alonso tried to slide in head first, and there was a lot of controversy about him blocking the plate, and if that was what they should do? And like, I was listening to this Foul Territory show with AJ Przinsky, and I loved it because he's like basically ripping on Posey for the rule, like in a sense, like if it wasn't for him that and the fans crying about it, that's basically that rule would have just stayed, because in situations like this at the end of the game, you're just gonna at the end of the game, you're gonna have controversy. Like the guy, I don't understand how his foot was standing on the plate, so I don't get the rule enough where I'm gonna get it after so we can see it, but I just don't understand how it's not blocking the plate now. And then
steals.
Play.
In the air, left field. Happ is there, makes the catch. Throw to the plate, tag out at the plate. Oh, boy.
It looks like he's blocking it.
Maybe he wasn't out in front of it.
Doesn't he look safe too? Does he look safe?
Back foot. He gives him that corner. He's safe.
You don't see very often the little league cutoff to third base to throw a guy out at home, though.
There is no blocking. Back to review. The call of out on the field stands. Runners out.
Ball game. Cubs win. Wow. How is that?
So anyways, I wanted to get that one up on the screen just because I thought that was kind of an interesting one, like this weekend. Like, I know it's baseball a little bit, but just the whole idea of the robot ups. There you go. There's your robot up right there. In that regard, but it's still, he would look like he got his hand in there. But that's not blocking the play to you?
I mean, I don't know if it was out in front of home plate or on home plate. Like, I don't.
They said he had a sliver available. But
so that's why
I've seen other ones where like, yeah, I just think they should be able to light the guy up. Like, that's like, I don't understand like what we're doing here. Like, I just don't get it.
I mean, it wouldn't bother me if that was the rule, but I don't. You want to protect your players.
Being able to, what about that rule other than Posey and a few others? I guess it's the concussions. Is that what we're trying to prevent? Is like that's the nationwide thing right now, right? That's what it came down to.
Probably.
But those plays are, I don't know. I don't like that at the end of a game like that. That was kind of
bring it up Major League again. What does he say as Parker's rowdy third get off the trail, get off the train tracks when the train's coming through? I don't know. Like, it is. I think the rules should have never changed. You're right about that.
The Posey rules, we like to call it.
Now the rule is too like an opinion. It's not even a real rule. It's just whatever the umpire decides in that moment. There's no like consistency in it.
No, and did you see the other thing with that in that series, the other play with this one? Like, did you know you could have your helmet on the base? And did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
So you already knew this rule?
I didn't know that rule, but I figure if you can touch the glove with the base and they can be out, why can't you have your helmet if you're holding the helmet?
Shouldn't you steal like that now?
I mean, you're risking your head getting hit with the ball. And
I want that helmet sanded down perfectly. No, I just want that. Yeah. Yeah. I want aerodynamic, so when I slide, I can get it to it.
How many hard swipe tags coming at someone's head would there be if they took their helmet off already?
Yeah, that'd be like, they got like more. That's where you can go back to the double hat. You gotta get a little hat.
You have the John Olerud helmet under the real helmet.
Yeah, you got to get a different one on there. I just thought it was something I learned. I didn't know that.
I didn't know the rule either. But like I said, I figured if you can touch the base with your glove, that's not really.
Yeah. Well, I learned something today on that one. That's what's so good. That I did not know it. Hey, random question. You're here at this. We'll kind of move off from baseball unless you had any other thoughts with it. A couple things I just had like from the week, and then if you have anything else, you can let me know. I feel like just following social media a little bit, this Clark Reese narrative is going to be hard for the media to let go of. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying it's like driven up right now because it's off season, but like the Caitlin Clark Reese, I just feel like it's almost like that bird. I just like the comparison there with it. That's just going to always be there. That even I don't even know if they want it, but I don't know how you feel about that. I don't know if I don't know. I just find it weird. That's all. I don't know if you have anything.
I mean, the Reese supporters, I feel, are kind of weird because there's many people in the WNBA that do what Angel Reese does. Nothing against her. She's a good basketball player. But the reason Caitlin Clark gets all this attention, there's no one like her. Like, we haven't seen someone play this style of basketball as a female. Like, most of the point guards, there's good point guards, but they don't do it like Caitlin Clark does it. Yeah. So I think there's this like, envious, like, and they try and be like, well, she's just as good. Well, maybe she's just effective, but it's a style of play that is not as exciting and isn't going to drum up interest from people who don't already watch the WNBA. And as far as them competing against, I don't think I think they've been done with it since that national championship game 2 years ago.
Yeah. No, you're right. I just find that little narrative a little.
It's going to be fun going forward, too, because Twitter, every time Caitlin Clark does something, Angel Reese gets brought up. Every time Angel Reese says something, I don't really see with Caitlin Clark being brought up. When it's just a weird situation we're in right now.
Yeah, the comparison always kind of cracks you up a little bit, like with that. It's just always.
And they're so different.
So I did this thing with these kids, junior hires. I do stuff on Friday. One of the questions I asked them, you've probably been asked the same thing, is if the one like if you had 3 people you could have dinner with or something, like who would it be, dead or alive, whatever. And so some of the fun, I'm gonna say almost all of them said Kobe Bryant, which I thought was kind of like, so they would be, how old were they? They'd probably like
how long ago did he pass away?
Huh? He passed away probably 4 years ago now, 3 years ago.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah, maybe long. I thought it was 4 years ago. But I thought it was funny. Not funny that necessarily picked him, but they're 13, right? So he probably passed away when he was they were like 10 or 9, and for us, remember, we were like
4 years ago. You're right.
I just don't remember I was not a fan of him. Like, you know what I mean? I thought he was a player to help, but like, it's funny to me he would not be somebody. No, but like, I think he really knows basketball. I think he's a deep thinker. I've seen a lot of his interviews, but I don't know if it was just funny to me that he was on their list. Kind of shows where you're at. Like, I think a lot of our students would have said, a lot of people our age would have said Michael Jordan, probably in that same.
Sure.
And a lot of them still said Michael Jordan, but I thought that was kind of funny. We had a few Patty Mahomes in there that were in there. A couple George Kittle that was in there too. And then kind of a smart A. He said Muhammad and Jesus, so that we had that. That's the thing. That was a little bad. I had to talk to him a little bit with it. We had that, and then somebody said Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
Oh God.
You're
I'm going to be teaching these kids.
I'm not teaching you. I just ask a question. Some of that stuff you have to deal with. I know you can't focus. You can't teach them everything. You know what I mean? So I thought it was funny some of the answers that they had with it this week with it.
If you could have dinner with 3 people, who would they be? 3 athletes. 3 athletes. Let's stick to the sports.
Oh, I don't. I'd have to right off the top of my head. And probably Jackie Robinson would be one on there. I just would be fascinated to ask. Yes, went through a lot with it. I'd probably say the other one would be him. Maybe Barry Bonds on hitting. I'd like to get his thoughts on things, and I got to get an old timer in there. I got to get somebody. I saw that. You know who actually I thought was kind of funny that we saw that documentary on was Willie Mays. I think he would be funnier in it, like just a setting like that, because he seemed a little bit more like open and stuff like that. I think he'd be kind of a fun one to have. If I could have maybe like him and Mickey Mantle too. Maybe if I had to go old time too, that'd be kind of a good one too. Center field.
And Duke Snyder.
And I'll get the 3 of them. Why you have 3? I'd have to think about that a little bit longer.
I mean, I know Muhammad Ali would be on my list.
Well, he's not a baseball player, but
I said athlete.
Okay, I thought you told me baseball. Gotcha.
Baseball players would be Bonds, Lasorda.
Oh man, that would be. You had some good amount of cussing in that one.
Get some good stories, some unfilteredness. And then I don't know. Baker.
Yeah, probably.
Or Bochy.
Willie Mays Hayes.
Willie Mays Hayes here.
His name.
You may run like Hayes, but you hit like Jason Smith.
That movie, it's on there. I keep watching like the first 30 minutes, and then the kids always come in. It's like, but the first 30 is good, but I got to get to the end one of these times with it. All right, I got what if I had one kid come up to me and say, "You can play almost any sport." I go, "I don't know if I can play every sport. I can make myself at your level look serviceable at every sport." You know what I mean? Like I can hit volleyball over a net, and I can do or I can hit a tennis racket, but if I play somebody that knows tennis, they're going to beat me every time. You know what I mean? So that's not going to matter. So I was thinking, is there a sport that you feel like it could be even like another one that you feel like you just can't really play at all? Like you'd even have a hard time teaching kids. Like it can be even not necessarily even a sport, like maybe just a skill. Maybe it's ping pong. Like,
I know.
Something like that.
It's throwing darts. I can hit the dartboard, but I have no idea where it's going. There's no like. When I throw those things, it's just the luck of the draw. Where is it going to go? Hopefully right down the middle. But I couldn't teach someone how to throw it. I'd be like, just pretend it and just let it go. That'd be my best advice.
I think darts would be definitely on the list there for me.
Ice skating would be up there.
Ice skating be on there for sure. Man, pool, I would want to say I could hit a few in there, but I'm not beating anybody that actually knows what they're doing. Let's just put it that way. I'm not beating anybody. That one I'm probably having unless they hit the 8 ball, and then I'm having.
We didn't spend enough time at bars, is what I'm figuring out.
I don't think we did. I did that one time. My neighbor invited me over here, and they were playing, and I would just remember like thinking, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like I can't. Like there was something about it that I was like not too. I could get into it that much. The darts thing, maybe I could at least do. Axe throwing,
Probably not.
Oh,
shooting guns, I probably wouldn't do.
how about those type of sports? Remember, like the wood games that used to be on ESPN, where the guy's on the log cutting with a chainsaw, or like
You have to chop the tree and then climb up it.
or the guy, he's got he's climbing. Yeah, that stuff.
No
I
chance
don't like
at that
that.
either.
Rock climbing, yeah, those type of stuff. I'm not going to do it in my life. But those ones for boxing, probably have a tough time showing.
Be tired after 30 seconds.
My manhood wants me to tell you I can show you, but I don't know. I don't know if you want that advice. I don't know if you want that advice. Exactly.
Go seek professional help if you want to go box.
Somebody at PE show, some of the younger girls, always like kindergarten and first grade, usually because they take like tumbling classes. Stuff usually at that age, that's what they do. And they'll be like, "Why aren't we doing like gymnastics?" You hired the wrong guy for that one. You hired the wrong guy. Right.
I can barely touch my toes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did. I had to do the sit and reach test this week with the kids. Still not very good at that one. Still not very good. All right. That's what I had this week on the show. You got any other things with it before we get to winners and losers?
That Ant performance, is he closer to his athleticism? Is closer, in my opinion. I want your thoughts on it. Is closer to Michael Jordan than Kobe's. Kobe's was a little more fluid. Like Ant has like this power that Jordan had, like this ferociousness going on. Do you see that, or is it a little different? Or am I just thinking of older Kobe?
No, I agree. I think Kobe, he was definitely athletic, but I think I agree.
For sure. I'm not,
because he could do those 360 dunks and he could have those reverse dunks, and he has obviously tons of good dunks and hangs in the air. But you're right, it is a little different. Like it is. His is a little bit more that explosive next level of jumping. It's a little different. I agree. But that's like, it's crazy to think that it was like a great athlete. You could even have somebody like right there, just a little bit more athletic than them. Yeah, no, I would say he's there. He's ridiculous right now. We'll see how Denver bounces back against them this week. All right, what do you got for winners and losers? You got any winners?
Yeah, I got two of each. No, I got one loser. My loser is, or I'll go with winner, is Ant, and then the UFC bringing Conor McGregor back for UFC 303. They put out the little, he's back, he's coming, a little promotion. I'm excited. Yeah. Will he be able to fight like he used to? I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch. I think this could get interesting for him, but I'm excited. I'll be watching the pay-per-view. So that's my winner.
That's a good one. I got my winner of the week. I have Sharks Lottery again. Last year, this was a big deal for us, Tyler. We actually talked
about a better player available
this year. Just to give you an idea of who's available, just the top pick, Macklin Celebrity, as they said. So hopefully I can say that one. The rest of them are a little tougher for me. Artyon,
an Italian, is the number one pick.
Yeah, he's from Boston University. He says he's a 17-year-old center. So we'll see if we could get him. Some of these team names to the third or the fourth overall pick, the Medicine Hat Tigers, interesting name there. And we could maybe Sam Dickinson with the fifth pick, they're suggesting as well. So we'll see. They have the best odds, the Sharks. So winners. The winners is they have the best odds to get it. We'll see next week if they're losers on this list. I have crazy hats, Kentucky Derby time. It's the one type of the year people get to look like idiots. They get to do that with their hats at all costs. Did you watch any of it?
Yeah, I watched the race. It was good. Yeah. It was one of the best Kentucky Derbies I've ever seen. It was by a hair.
I get it. And then what was the other winner I had this week? Oh, yes, we did. I didn't want to spend this one on baseball, everything, but Mr. Arise, Padres in your division now, gets 4 hits yesterday with it. So good start for winner of the week there, Tyler. See, that's the type of hitter you're like, that would have been nice to have him.
Very nice.
But you still have your prospects, so just be positive there with it. You still have all those. All right, losers of the week.
My loser of the week is the Eastern Conference and NBA. The game matchups don't do anything. Like compared to the West, where you have all the young stars, the future generation playing. The Eastern Conference, it just leaves a lot to be desired as far as star players.
Yeah. Casey said last night, he was going to say loser. He was like loser of the week's the Cavs Magic beat on NBA TV. Like that's they're always on it. Those teams. Your brother here, hockey playoffs have been fired. Big Vegas, Dallas. Yes, there is the one thing about hockey is you're always going to get in that first round. It feels like a good 3 to 4 game sevens there with it. So we'll see tonight. Last night was good highlights with the with the Leafs and the Bruins. Bruins winning Game 7 there with it. So loser of the week there with it. I had Darvin Ham, LeBron. We talked about it a little bit last night. Good night. I still think that Sixers Knicks series was good.
That was a good series.
All right, NBA, and then but you're right. Sixers Bucks, maybe I guess not. NBA awards. I think you went off the air last night real quick when we talked about this, or yesterday afternoon was the NBA awards, like Hustle Award and Teammate of the Year Award. Like, I don't know why. Like, and then like Doug, he made a good point. He goes, "Is the Hustle Award a white man only?" Like, I was like, because of the Caruso winning it this year, like the Hustle Award. I was like, well, I guess you would book TJ McConnell for next year. He's got that one wrapped up, and then Pods the year after that. So we're in good shape. We got our
It's a good call. You should parlay that bet.
The Pods will go all redheads. So we'll go that. So, anyways, I just thought that was ridiculous. Like, I don't know, Teammate of the Year award. Like, it really is over.
Sounds like the good Samaritan of the Year award. We already have that award.
We do that at school. We take a day out. All right, and then another one, Pat Beverly throwing a ball back into the stands. Now Charles Barkley has always said you should always get to punch one fan every game if you're a player. But I feel like Beverly, man, you're not that good. What do we do? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't get it. So,
yeah.
Odd deal. I don't know if you saw that, but odd deal.
No, I saw it.
What do you make? Just him being crazy? I mean, don't you think he's a little delusional in that regard?
He's a sore loser, is what I gathered from this. Like, he did the Chris Paul push a couple years ago. Like, just an absolute cheap shot. Obviously, Chris Paul can say some things that probably get under your skin, but I don't know. Every time he seems to lose, not every time, but too often, he throws these temper tantrums. And here we are.
5 years are mine.
Make sure you subscribe to his pod if you're going to ask him a question, though.
Yeah, exactly. I will never. What? I feel like it's a resident. What? Yeah, like, what is he doing right now? What?
Absolutely absurd.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here's my Bay Area flashback video of the week here with it. See if we can get it.
Dallas Braden and Alex Rodriguez were going at it.
Well, they
We're not
played
sure
at second base. Alex Rodriguez actually out of the picture. Dallas Braden, I don't know, maybe Dallas thought that Alex was trying to get in the way of the throw to second base.
Well, there was a little bit of an incident at the end of the top half of the inning, and it involved Alex Rodriguez and the pitcher, Dallas Braden of the A's. And we're not sure what it's all about, but Braden was definitely upset with Alex.
Dallas Braden and Alex Rodriguez.
I don't know why that one always cracked me up, because I was like, at first I was like, what is he losing his mind over? And he lost and I looked like A-Rod.
What are you upset about?
I don't know. But Braden became kind of a star because of that incident. Remember, because like everybody, I think it's because everybody kind of wasn't an A-Rod guy anymore at that point. Yeah, and then I think even New Yorkers kind of didn't like it, and then so he's getting all pissed about that. And then he ends up on David Letterman a week later and stuff like that, doing the top 10. Like, it was hilarious to me, like how he became kind of a big deal because of this play. I know the perfect game made him there, but this one I feel like he went on Letterman after this, and then he throws the perfect game like a couple weeks later. So I think that's what kind of like it made it a little bit different. He does this, and then he throws the perfect game on Mother's Day. So it's like, what? It's like.
And I think he was really he was off to a great start as well, as far as like even games that were outside these two games. I thought it like overreact. Obviously, if your worst enemies, your enemy's enemy is your best friend. So like it just everyone hated A-Rod, so it's easy to just
get off my back.
Pile on. Like, I think that's crazy. Like if I was A-Rod, I would have just sat on the pitcher's mound and seen what he did.
He probably might have spiked you. Nobody wanted to come to A-Rod's defense either. No, it's good.
I think A-Rod's afraid of Dallas.
You go Terrell Owens. You go stand on the pitcher's mound and just stand. I'll bring it.
The guy's gonna lose his mind like that.
I just remember that.
Get him off his game.
Get off my mound. And then it was like the Bob Garrett and the shot there. It's all right. And Kurt,
what a great leader. What a great
Chad
leader.
Pennington. What a time to be an A's fan. What a Chad
Pennington.
Derek Martin over there at first base. But
is that his name? It wasn't Chad Cliff.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of the Jets
quarterback. Chad Pennington.
It's been a while there. It started with a C. You got it right there. Anyway, that was the Bay Area flashback. I thought it was kind of a funny one for this week. With the get off my mount. And then on Mother's Day, this Sunday, that is when he threw the perfect game. So we'll see that with it.
Today's
Mom-
Mother's
yeah,
Day.
I would- I
Happy
definitely-
Mother's Day to all the mothers.
I will not be flying to Ireland for that one. For that Mother's Day. All right, T. Good show. You got practice today on the blacktop, or you guys on the field?
No, we've been kicked off the blacktop. A teacher reported us. We're under investigation by the league to make sure we stay off the black.
Are you not allowed to practice on Sundays?
No, not on the blacktop. We're not allowed to practice on blacktops. We're not covered by insurance. We got a big talking to.
Always a little. The Brewers always a little controversy there in Sebastopol Little League. I get to the bottom of it. All right, T. Have a good rest of your Sunday, man, and
well.
I'll talk to you later. All right, Fatboy
Wish
FadeAway.
Hannah a happy Mother's Day for me.
Absolutely, we'll do it. Fatboy FadeAway, episode 174 in the books. Happy Cinco de Mayo out there as well, people. We'll talk to you soon. Out.